Our former agent owes us over $9,000 and won't respond to any emails anymore. Brian and I posted our very first Horrifying My Husband video in December of 2023, and we had no idea that it would blow up the way that it did. By March 2024, we were definitely needing extra help. EMC Talent, LLC, reached out to us with the opportunity to represent us. That would mean that they would be the person that would represent us in negotiating all brand deals and collaborations. And they seemed legit. It felt like I did my reasonable research. Plus, it seemed like they had worked with a lot of other big influencers and even celebrities. EMC Talent was co-founded by CJ Jackson, who was also known as Jelly Bean TV, which boasted a pretty big following on TikTok and YouTube. The other co-founder is CJ's wife, Donna Jackson. You can also see here that it mentions both EMC Talent as well as her hubby, CJ Jackson. And this is her TikTok as well. And we also dealt a lot with Carl Twinney, who it says he is head of talent of EMC Talent. He also had a really big platform himself on Instagram too, and YouTube. So we felt like we would be in good hands. We would be partnering with an agency that was former influencers who were now helping us expand. We did a 3-month trial with them from March 2024 to May 24. And in May 24, we signed an official year-long contract with them. The contract that we signed with them was sent to us by Carl Twinney, who, as I said, is head of talent at EMC Talent. Here's the first page of that contract that we signed with them in May 2024. The actual date, it says May 26, 2024. So a period of 12 months from May 26, 2024. So I removed our identifying information. It was our address and phone number. But you can see the name of the company as well as the address they have listed, as well as the co-founder, CJ Jackson. From May 2024 to January 2025, things seemed okay. So there were things that would come up that I should have looked more closely at, but I didn't see it as big enough of a deal to go ahead and terminate that agreement with them. We were always paid in a timely manner, and it was actually pretty difficult to terminate the agreement based on what we had signed. Talent, as in us, can only terminate the agreement if the manager, EMC Talent, is put into liquidation or in material breach of any of the manager's obligations. In January of 2025, that's when things started to get a little weird. Prior to January of 2025, we would complete a collab, and then we would get paid usually about 30 days after completion of that collab. Having done brand deals for years, that seems pretty normal. But in January of 2025, they told us that majority of deals that they were getting with brands, the brands were wanting and expecting a 60-day net payout, which means we would complete the content or complete the work, and we would not get paid until 60 days after we had already completed the work. I don't know about you, but that's a long time to not get paid for work. And so me specifically, started pushing back of being like, I don't want to accept deals where we're not getting paid until 60 days afterward. And I've worked with brands before, and that's never been an issue. So in February, about a month after I've been sort of pushing back, being like, I don't want 60-day net payout. I don't want it. Carl Twinney, again, the head of talent, who we had been at this point communicating with a lot more, asked, do you want to renew your contract with EMC Talent? As in renew the yearly contract that we had already signed with them May 26, 2024. I said we would not be renewing. He asked me if we would like to go ahead and get out of our contract now. I said, our contract ends in May, and we have not yet been paid for 4 collabs. And so I would like to just stay on and get paid for those 4 collabs, which will get paid by the end of this contract anyway. He let me know that they could go ahead and get me out of a contract with them, that I would be considered a free agent, and that I would still be paid for those 4 collabs. I said, I need that in writing if that's going to be true. He then sent me this email dated February 20th, basically saying in summary that our contract is done. Then at the bottom there, it says, in summary, the last 4 completed campaigns awaiting payment are. I've blocked the brand names out for obvious reasons, but he lists the 4 brands that we have completed that are awaiting payment here in this email. I responded back to that initial email the same day, February 20th, saying, can you please include expected estimated payout dates as well as amounts? I ended up having to send another follow-up February 26th asking again because I still hadn't received that information. On February 26th, the same day we sent the follow-up email, I received this email from Carl and included the brand names as well as the money that they were owed, as well as some information on payment dates. He said he did not have estimated payment dates and that one brand was being difficult, but this amounts to $9,500 that we are owed and have not been paid yet. On March 14th, I sent another follow-up. We are still waiting on expected payment delivery dates. We're over 60 days for the brands and coming up on 60 days for the 4th brand. So as of March 14th, we should have been paid for at least 3 of the brand deals and should have been about to be paid for the 4th brand deal. March 17th, I sent another follow-up, and this time I also CC Donna Jackson, the co-founder. I get this reply. That basic summary is that they are supposed to be paid by that 4th brand that was giving difficulty. So at this time, it seems like they should have received all money for the 4 collabs that we have done. It's been over 60 days for all of them, and the one brand that they were having trouble with has now said that they will pay. I send multiple follow-ups, including these that I sent March 23rd and March 25th, and I received no responses to any of them. On March 28th, I sent my final email to them. I included Carl, Donna Jackson, and CJ Jackson on the email and make it clear, last email before we explore legal options. It has been 11 days since we received a response. I'm blocking some private as well as brand information, but here I say, since we've received no timely responses to our request for estimated payout dates and have yet to be paid for any of the 4 campaigns, we can only assume you intend to not pay us. If we don't hear from you by April 4th, 2025, we'll explore all available legal options, including seeking legal counsel in England. April 4th, 2025 comes and goes, no response from them. And this is where things get super weird and just don't add up. When reaching out for a lawyer for international disputes, because my husband and I live in the United States, you have to look at where the company is registered. You can see from the contract that we signed that their company, the mailing address in London, England. So we would have to look at legal advice from someone living in England. Looking into this has led me to find things that just don't add up. Like, for example, that address, 85 Great Portland Street, first floor, London. If you Google it, it shows up as a place called My Coworks. It's a co-working space that allows you to rent by the hour. Not a real address. When I was Googling, I found this link. It provides all public government information about the registration of this business in the UK. And notice this company number, that it matches the one that they listed on the contract. When you scroll down, you can see that they actually changed the registered business address. When I looked up that address, there were at least 8 pages worth of businesses located at that address, and not one of them was EMC Talent. Then I noticed something else weird. As I was scrolling through the public business website of the registration of EMC Talent Limited, I noticed 2 names that popped up, Christopher James Howard and Donna Michelle Howard. All the information I had seen about this company talked about a CJ Jackson as one of the co-founders, so CJ could be Christopher James. But Jackson is not the same last name as Howard. And Donna Jackson, the other co-founder. But when I saw that middle name Michelle, I remembered that her Instagram for Donna Jackson actually says Donna Michelle at the top. So not only have both addresses that are registered with their business have ended up not being real addresses, but the names that they say are the founder and co-founder of their company are not what is registered with the English government. So Brian and I have no idea who we were doing business with. We don't know the address for that business. We don't know the actual names of the actual people. We assume it is Donna Howard and CJ Howard. In a cursory Google search, I have found nothing on them. All that I know is that they used to live in England and now live in Perth, Australia. And they owe us over $9,000 and haven't responded to an email from us since March 17th, 2025. Brian and I have no idea what to do at this point. So if you have any suggestions or advice, please provide them in the comments.